live! Welcome to Fun Day Sunday Code Stream with me, Ray Codes, or I'm actually called Benedicta Rå, but too hard to say for those English-speaking people. So just going with Ray. In today's stream, we will be working on the data visualization for POW, the Privacy First Menstrual Cycle journal that I have released almost a year ago, I guess, but it's time for some data visualization. So that's what we're looking at for today. But as always, before we get going, there will be a little bit of a chit chat, a little bit of getting organized. So please feel free to say hello in the chat. And if you want to know what's up with me and the universe of Ray Codes, I guess, you can sign up for my newsletter, which is linked in the description below. Because there are some changes coming around here. It used to be just pow, pow, pow. But as you might see, and I never remember what, this side. Finally started to do some Ray Codes branding work, and we'll be launching that personal site again, or it's out there. You can go to Ray Codes, but I'm gonna give it some love again this spring and keep on doing the POW work, but also dive more into Gatsby plugins. So on Monday, let me check the comments here in case. So if you're watching this on like Twitter, Periscope, whatever, it's better if you want to chat than jump on over to YouTube and say hi. So where was I? Yes, I will also be doing some Gatsby plugin work this spring because on, when was that? Let me share my screen. So this is the latest plugin, Gatsby plugin I released. That was on Monday. It's the Gatsby plugin FEDM. So it lets you add FEDM Analytics, which is the privacy first analytics tool that I'm using for POW. It makes it easier to add it to Gatsby the Gatsby way. So that was just out on Monday. As you can see, it's used by me, and me, and me, and me, but then also, I think Eric. Is that his name? Yeah, something like that. Let's see. Eric, yes, it's also used by Eric. He was very gracious and did some early testing on the plugin as well. But then, years ago, I created the Gatsby Remark O-embed. So let's see when that was first released. I keep forgetting like how long ago things are. So yep, started work on that fall 2018. So that's 2 years ago. And I haven't been giving it the love it needs and deserves. So I will be doing some work on this plugin as well come spring. And I would love it if you would like to contribute to Gatsby Remark O-embed. So what this plugin does is that it helps you embed almost anything into your Gatsby site through MD. So markdown files. So the only thing you need to do is paste in the link to the post or image or thing that you want to embed, and then it gets transformed into the appropriate embed code. Kind of like WordPress. So my inspiration for this is WordPress. Years and years and years ago, I used WordPress and had that magic experience of just pasting in a link and it turning into its embed and counterpart. So that was the inspiration for that. And that's used by quite a few people. I've had some contributions, and I'm going to do a full rewrite of that, hopefully in April, April. So yes, that's a little chitty chat there about plugins, Gatsby plugins. And I can see down here on my iPad that I am in the wrong broadcast. So I'm just going to enter this because it's easier for me to follow if it's down there and not over there. And also, as always, there might be timestamps in the description at some point, so you can check that out to jump around in this stream. There we go. Now I can actually see what we are doing. Okay, super. So let's maybe just like jump right into working on the visualization that I started last Sunday. I did some visualization work the Sunday before that. You can check the description for links to all of the parts. So the first Sunday, I used Nevo, which is a framework on top of um, on top of D3. Just gonna try to open these things, but I can't right click in here. That's quite annoying. So let's just open a new code sandbox. So I was trying to right click, to open in a new tab. I don't think I'm the only one who does that. Yeah, so this here I can right click. But it just opened inside of, I didn't get it in a new tab. Anyway, so 2 Sundays ago, I started working on visualizing via Nevo, which is a framework on top of D3. So it looks pretty nice, but it was, it looks really nice, and it was fairly easy to get up and running, but it was hard to kind of customize to exactly my needs. And then after stream, Ola, who just said hi, hello, he's up in the attic right above me. And I and our intern Lillian went into the woods, as we do after every stream, and my brain, that's what's so fun about these live streams, is like my brain's just like pop, 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 getting all these new ideas. And I realized, this can be probably done in just some CSS grid. So that's what we explored last Sunday. And we got, not here, we got, this right clicking is killing me. We got this far. Let's see if Code Sandbox wants to. Yeah. So we got this far last week. And I was pretty happy with that. This is CSS grid, but as you can see, things are stretching a little bit out of hand. So during the week, I've done some work, and I decided to flip it around so that they're going down instead of across, because I think that will be better, especially on a mobile view. And most of the POW users are using it on a mobile. So I think that will be a more interesting view for people. So, as you can see, it's not stretching in any way. I managed to make some fixes to that. So you might be wondering, what are we working on? So let's have a look at our GitHub issues. So what we're working on, and I should make the screen big again. What we are working on is visualizing the data that POW collects, or that people put into POW about their cycle, and then trying to show it back to them so they themselves can do some kind of analysis on their data and get a feel for how their cycle works. And I was lucky enough that an amazing ex-user of POW sent in this suggestion on how to visualize it. So this is what I've been trying to make, this visualization that she sent in. So the only thing I've now done is changed it so that it flips, because otherwise I think there would be a lot of sideways scrolling on a little phone. So I'm hoping, that might be a better solution. So we've gotten pretty far. We are kind of like, if you look at this image, and then we head on over to what we have, it is very similar. We have the tags going down. Let's open it in a new window. Yeah, and we should probably make these a little smaller because it's very long. Why is it so long? Yeah, so this is looking pretty good. But what I want to kind of try to challenge myself to do today is make it so that we can flip it around. So for this visualization, your menstrual period is here at the beginning, and we align it up to kind of the beginning of your cycle. But what we might want to do, as she's writing here, is that the days after ovulation is a lot less variable than the follicular phase before ovulation. So the user might want to flip a switch so that everything is aligned according to the end of the cycle and not the beginning of the cycle. So that is what we're going to try to do on stream today. And I guess that takes us into the actual coding portion of this stream. So let me fork the as far as I've gotten. So I like to fork in data, and so I'm using Code Sandbox here to explore, so I don't have to set up my full environment. And I like to kind of fork at every point so that I can see the different sandboxes next to each other and kind of be able to show people the progress through the visualization. So let's fork this, and it looks exactly the same. It just got a new name up here. So first off, I'm going to see if we can manage to make this a little less wide. So the way I managed to make these circles, and I think if we right click on it, we can have a look. Make kind of the grids. Here we can see the grid pretty well. You can see that all of the little grid parts are proper squares and not rectangles. And I managed to figure out how to do that via an article on CSS Tricks that showed me how to do padding bottom 100%, which then takes the width and pads down 100%. Oh, something fell. I put up some drawings that Lillian has made. Look at this. It's a cat skull. Anyway, I'll just move these out of the way then, since they fell down. Yeah, so we use the padding bottom, I think, but these are for our circles actually. So I'm using the padding bottom trick to make the circles even, and then we are also using it for the. Didn't we do something for the grid? I did this like a couple of days ago, and now I'm not remembering exactly how I did that. Grid template rows, we're saying it should repeat 30 times because 30 is our longest, so I'm just hard-coded that. And then we are saying, we're saying min max, it should go from a 0 to 1 frame. That's our rows. And then the grid templates, the grid columns moving in that direction. The first one should be 2.5 rem, and then it should repeat 4 times and should be a min of 0 and a max of 2. So I think maybe if we say, instead of 1 frame there, we say 1 rem, will it then be, so then it's shorter. But it's because of that cycle that, we're just going to keep it this length for now. And then we'll see. What if I do 1? I can't leave things alone. Well, that looks pretty good as well, actually. So I said that I have set a min width on our circles so that they won't get too small. But let's keep on working here where we're at 2 rems, and then I'll have to figure out how to make it maybe smaller overall so that it's not so long, but let's keep that for now. What we're going to try and do today, as I said, is we're going to try and visualize first that these are actually your period days. So I'm going to color in these maybe 3 or 4 days, depending on what you've logged. So I have to add that to our fake data structure. And then I would like to flip it around so that these days are on the top instead. So we'll have to do some math. Let me see if I can do the math on the fly. It should be fairly simple math, but things get hard when you're doing it on stream, much harder than when you're just in your own head working on it. But this is why I'm practicing thinking out loud while coding and working on my technical communication so that whatever I put out on this channel would get better with time. Okay, so get back to where we were planning. Yes, let's color in the first 3 or 4 days. So we have the length, and then let's do period length. So for this one, it's 3 days. 4 days. And another 3 days. And then we have a longer one, let's say 5 days. What's very interesting about period cycles is that what we were taught in school, is very much based on averages, but it turns out like the I know I don't remember the statistical term, but there's a lot of variation. So you can average up this data amongst all women, or all people who menstruate, but the variations are much larger than we are taught. So I find that very interesting. Okay, so let's see if we can color in these lengths. So that means that after we have a grid here, I'm going to switch these things. So there we have a cycle bar. Yeah, so that's the full cycle bar. Okay, that's a good name, Benedicta. Good name. And then we do period length. And we want to do another grid. So this is our hello, pow, 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 pow. I might need your like gaming math skills soon. We'll see. Welcome. Yeah, so this is the grid for the whole cycle length, and then we want to make another grid. We might want to make another I don't know what to call, not a grid, bar. We want to make another bar going down that is the length of the period. So that's period plus 1, and then we want to make that red, I guess. But let's not do the color, we'll do the bore background. So in POW, we're not playing around. We're not pretending that, periods are blue liquid. But let's find a nicer red color. Color is red. So let's do crimson, maybe. There, at least, we see the length of our periods. And why I wanted to add that in there is so that it would be very visual when we start flipping the visualization around and having the periods at the bottom, or having it sync to the end of the cycle instead of the beginning of the cycle. Yeah, so I wanted to have that there, so it's very clear that that's what we're talking about, because I'm also thinking if I do that, we can just remove kind of this first grid with the days, but let's not do that now. But I'm thinking that like what day it is, it's not that interesting. We could have some kind of like hover or indicating that in a different way. It's more interesting to see kind of our cycle as a whole. So yeah, now we know at least where the period part of the cycle is. And I think I want to refactor these little things a little bit so I know kind of what I'm doing here. So these are the tags. So maybe let's refactor out the tags. We can just call it a tag instead of looking at that code, because I think that will make it easier for me to work in this code base. Sorry, I'm not that familiar with Code Sandbox. Let's see, const tag. It's basically then gonna take everything that's inside our tag, map, object keys, tags. And then we need the index. Oh my God, I'm gonna mess this up. I just can feel it. So the tag key. So the tags are for the whole. Yeah, so the tags key, and then the colors. So we want to give it the tag, and then we want to give it the key colors, I guess, and then we want to give it the index and also the key for, okay. That should be all of this. Give it a tag. Key. I'm not sure if the key will actually show up in our props because that's something that React uses under the hood as well. That could be interesting to check. And as always, people who know my channel, I use a different keyboard for client work and it's messing up all of my things. But we got a little larger font size here. Maybe you enjoy that. There we have the tag and it needed the index and the key. I said, I don't think the key will come through, but let's test that. Then we need the colors. And we don't actually need the tag because we just need the colors, which is interesting. Of course, so we don't need the tag. We just need the key, which is what day it's on. So we can know where to place it. And then we need the colors. And then we also need the index of the cycle. So cycle index. Okay, is this working at all? Cycle index. Index. Okay, let's see. We are getting loads of errors. We are not seeing them at least. So they're all down here. So I'm probably guessing that's because of the key. So can I rename symbol? I can rename symbol in here. Nice. So that would be the tag index or tag day, I guess. Let's make our variables explicit so we know what we're talking about. So we still need the key and then we need the tag. Okay, so in React, when you have a list of components, you always need to give them a key. Otherwise, React will complain. And so it knows if something changes. Okay, that looks correct to me. Cool. We can also check it to see if it's actually similar to that other code sandbox that we have so that we're not messing up things we're not supposed to mess up. So this one that I worked on 3 days ago. Things are slow. Yeah, it looks the same. We have a green and a blue and purple, and then there at the bottom. Yep, that looks the same as for us. Cool. So then we've refactored out our tag, and we have the cycle index, the tag day, the colors that it takes. And we have some unused things here, so let's not use that. And I guess we could have taken that into our refactor, but let's just leave it there. Okay, so this is our period. This is the days we're actually bleeding, and these are the length of the full cycle. And then what we want to do now is flip a switch and have these align at the bottom instead of at the top. And then the cycle days won't match up because then it will be cycle day -1, -2, -3 instead of we being 30. So let's try and line that up. And I'm going to try to get my simple math to work. So instead of having them start from 1 and go all the way to the end, we want them to start at the end. And I think with grid, we could actually do negative placements. That could be interesting. So have it go from the end and then negative days. That would work. So let's try to just flip it before we make it interactive. Or should we just make it interactive? Let's make it interactive right away. So I need a little switch. Oh, button, button switch. And then we need end or align. We need to make a state that can set if we want to align it at the start or at the end. Use, and we want to start with start. Did it import use state for us? Yes, it did. And then we would like to handle the click on the button. And it takes in an event, but we're not going to use it. So let's skip that. And then we want to set if line equals start. And we do, oh, we shouldn't do it like, yes, we should do it like that. No, we should not, because we will get it in, this is the correct method of doing it. So we will get the current value inside of set align current value. And then if current value equals start, then let's set it to end. And if not, let's set it to start. And then on click here, on click on the button, let's handle the switch click. And let's write it out so that we know what value we have. I just like to grab things inside of the same paragraph or div or whatever to make things semantically work okay. So let's just write out what the align value is. It should be start. Why is it not showing me the align value? Align, set align, use state, start. That should show me the align. There's an error. That's probably why. Yes, we know that. Why sometimes the easy things, the hard things? We have the button and then we have nothing in the line. Oh, sorry, we deconstruct them. They're an array, not an object. Yes. There we go. That makes me happy. And let's just skip a little. That. And then add some non-breaking spaces. Non-breaking space. There we go. So we have a little bit of, and there, start, end, start, end, start, end. Okay, cool. So now we need to propagate if it's going to be the start or the end all the way through our visualization. I don't know if you notice it, but I'm just like procrastinating on that math. I'm like doing everything around it instead of doing, and it's probably such basic math. And I used to get straight A's in math, but like, I don't know. It's suddenly feels like real coding on, on stream, and there's going to be any math going on. But anyhow, let's just keep on doing this. So we need to add to our cycle bar, we need to give in the align prop, so we know down the line in our prop if we want to align it to the bottom or to the top. So that's our cycle bar. So our cycle bar takes in align, and these two will then have to will have to change. So we need to move our. No, so the period doesn't suddenly start at the end, right? So the period should stay at the top, but we actually do want these light blue here to move down, and then we want the period to move down with it, I guess. So I guess we also need to know no, we can do it from the end. So we want them to start, the grid column should then go from 1 to 1, yes, and then the grid row should go from the top to the bottom. But instead of doing that, we wanted to go from the bottom to the top, and I think we can use negative indexes in grid. So let's see if we can make that work. So for this first one, it's not that interesting because it's going to be the same height no matter what, but this next one is interesting. So let's say we want them to go from -1, I guess then. -1 until negative length. Oh my God, it worked. It just worked. Well, our periods are not aligned, but wow. Interesting. This was pretty, so now we have our cycles bottom aligned. That's cool. And then with our period lengths now, we need to do some more math because we now need the start to be, so what happens if I do the start to be not 1, it needs to be the length, so it needs to be the same as this value. And then it should go, I guess, the value, because we wanted to start then at the end, which is the full length, and then we wanted to be less negative. So it should be this value then plus the period length, I guess. Oh, but I can't plus inside of here, so let's do. That is not working, not exactly how I wanted it to be. So I wanted to go, so these ones, oh yeah, because -1 is down here, and then -29 or whatever we have here, 27 is up here. So what happens if we do nothing here? Will it then align? So let's just do them as the first square. Oh my, now I'm just messing everything up. So these are not aligning. Oh, because that's my end. Yes, I still need, so that's my end. I still need that to be the end, but then I need them to, so now I kind of flipped it around. So it starts further down and then it goes up. So if I do minus, and then I do the period length here. No, I'm just messing. I am just messing this up. So if we don't have these, let's have a look again at our. Okay, yeah, so they are correct. We need those to go, should go from there. And this one should start at cycle day 3. Even though it's messed up, it's the other way around. So they start correctly, and then I need, what happens if I do +2 here? And they move in the opposite direction, okay. I want them to go from the end. So here, if I do -5 here, then they go all the way down to -5. -5, but I want them to go down to minus, yeah, so that's -5. What I need is minus the full length plus the cycle length. So, because if I do +3 here, no, let's do -3 then. Oh, because it's on the, what happens if I just do length and length? Maybe I don't need these pluses. Oh, then they move. Because then they go from, so I wanted to go from +1. I wanted to go from the top there. Oh, no, I'm confused. Because how is it counting with my negative values? So here I go, if I do -1, it starts at the end. And then it goes all the way up to the length. And I don't want this to start at the end. I want it to start at then. So what if I do -2 here, -5? Does it jump up? Yes, it does. So -1s. What I do want to do here is that I want it to be -5. So the full length, I don't want it to be minus the full length. So -1 is all the way down there. -5 is here, -10 is there, and I want it to be minus the length plus the period length. I'm pretty sure of that. And then I want it to go all the way up to the length. Almost. And not at all. Oh my God. So I want it to go. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the old notebook and do some actual calculations on this. I am gonna pull out the notebook because we have to get dancing. So -1 is the same also as the period length +1. But then it differs. So we have, goes from -1 to minus length. I am sure this is super trivial, and as soon as I get off stream, I have like no problem doing this. -1 up to minus length. And I want the period to start at, I could say it just starts at minus length. Because can I tell it to like go in either direction? I guess I can. But if we're going to try and do it in the same direction as the full cycle bar, then we want to start at the bottom. So the bottom then should be, so if this is -1 down here, then we go all the way up to minus length. It's going to be a larger negative number. We go the full length, negative numbers, then we plus on the period length. As we're doing, that should give us the, maybe need to do a +1 here. What happens if we remove? Not that familiar with grid yet. What if we just do -2 here? Oh, so we are not, so they are then going down to -1. So that is then -1, -2. So I want these to, they're not starting where I think they should be starting. Yeah, so they go all the way down then to -2. But I wanted to go the other way around. So I wanted to go up to, yes, I want them to end at the same place these are ending. They end here, which is correct. They end at the top of the line here. And then if I just do negative, that might be it, but it doesn't look correct, does it? Or maybe it does. Let's do our background opacity. Yep, I think, and then we'll add these below so that we can see the nice border on top. Yeah, they do seem correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they start on top, and then we need another like -1 here. Because I am not. No, we're not. We need a +1. I'm not fully for people who are still watching this, grid, it seems, starts at like a 0 or at 1 index. I'm not that comfortable with grid yet, because you can say from like end or beginning, or, but at least this looks like it's working now, because our period lengths are 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this one is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, and so that should be correct. And our very short cycle here on 25 days has the longest period. So yeah, this is actually correct. And then we just need to line up our tags as well, which I think hopefully will be a little bit easier. But this was only if a line was end, so we need to fix that. And I'm sure, Troy, if you're making a Flappy Bird clone, you are probably like, oh my God, what is wrong with her math skills? This is what amazes me with people who do games. I mean, there's so much like on the fly math. It's very, very inspiring. Okay, so we only want to do this if the align property is end. So let's do an align. The align is end. We want to do this. Sorry. Equals. And if not, we want to do the same thing we were doing that I think I have a copy of here. Grid row. Oh, that was not the period. That was this down here. So let's fix that. So if align end, then we want to do this part. And then if not, I guess we just did one and then period length. Yep. So let's see if our switch works. Yep. Yes. Yes, people. We are lining down there. We're up, we're down, we're up, we're down, and up, let down. Let's make these days because they confuse me so much. Let's make these go negative, and then we're going to move the tags, and that's all we're going to do for today. So where is our days? I think, why am I need a sip of coffee. No, there we go. Here are our cycle days. So if align is end, then cycle day here. If align equals end, then we want to do 30 minus index, I guess. 30 minus index, and if not, we want to do index plus 1. Yep. So we just want to do a negative. I cannot even do my math today, so we're just going to do negative. Yes, so we have negative minus, so we're on cycle day negative minus 1. Cool. You got to give it some more. I don't know why these are working. Let's give it some more space, or label some more space. There we go. So negative 1, and then we have negative 30, and this is a shorter length. Good. Now let's move the tags so that the tags are also end aligned. So start aligned, end aligned, start aligned, end aligned. Wow, this is working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Yeah. I'm gonna refactor the out of this because this is not a good architecture, but we're making it work. This is exploration work, right? So then for our tags, if it's aligned, nope. If it's align equals, and then it should be cycle the full length, which is 30. I'm just going to hard code that. No, we can just do negative. We could just do negative, right? So then it is negative index. And if not, it's the index. Oh, this is the wrong. This is the wrong one because our cycle index should be the same. Family's coming down. We are supposed to leave for our trip in the ocean. No, ocean. Trip in the ocean? Trip to the woods. Yes. The Explorer. Can you make that game? Ray the Explorer. Okay. We want to do that over here instead. So negative key or positive key. And start. Yes, yes. I think this is correct though. I'm not completely sure. Where is our green thing going? Oh, that's not good. So it should be on day. It should be on day 2, which is here. So I guess I need to do negative. Same problem as before. Do I guess this one. Grid column. Where have I met? Oh, here. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So it's not supposed to be on 3. So my keys are all over the place. One, 2, 3. Should it be on day 3 though? 1, 2. No, I am getting my there we go. I'm just making it work. I have to obviously go and have a better look at how the grid index system works because that is messing me up. But we have made a switch work. So we are here now on day 2, and this is day 2 of the last cycle, and then that is the day 2 of the second cycle. And then we can visualize that, oh, these are actually both happening around -7 days, but if we saw it in the other view, it's hard to kind of see if they're aligning. Same thing here at the end. Cool. Pretty happy with where that went. So I'm going to do a summary after just showing you something fun. Can I show? No, I can't. So I don't know, for the people who've seen, we've created Bottled Happiness with our daughter, where you can click this button, that bottle, and you get a lot of like fun children laughter. And then the other day, Lillian was all like, but I want to make poop sounds instead.
Hello.
Hello. Du må komme litt nærmere meg, tror jeg. Nei, her. Denne veien. Ja, nå er du der.
Hello.
Hello. So Lillian has drawn poops, and she wants to make a poop version of Bottled Happiness with poop sounds or farting sounds. So that will be coming your way at some point before the summer. Ok, går du litt bort, og så skal jeg avslutte. Pow! So to summarize, we worked on visualizing the menstrual cycle according to these diagrams. Sorry about the noise. And what we wanted to make happen today was managing to align them to the beginning of the cycle or the end of the cycle. And we have managed to do that. I've flipped these around though, but we have the start of the cycle, and then you can switch and they align to the end of the cycle, and everything flips. So made it happen. Pretty proud about that. Hopefully, I have the time to refactor this code properly before next Sunday, and then take it a step further, maybe even getting it into the POW application. That would be a lot of fun. Sign up for my newsletter if you want to know what goes around in this madhouse. I think they should come and troll me more often. If you want to know what's up with me, Ola, Lillian, that you just saw, then Mama Poop, then you could all sign up for my weekly newsletter, and I'll let you know what's up in my life, both coding-wise and non-coding-wise. That's all for today's Fun Day Sunday POW stream today. And as I said in the beginning, March will be all about Gatsby plugins, but we are soldering on with the POW visualization in February. Okay, bye-bye. POW, 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 pow.